Alia had always trusted her church. She had always trusted her pastor. But when her 8-year-old daughter, Melee, suddenly refused to go, something didn't feel right. She had been so excited just weeks ago, practically dragging Talia out the door every Sunday morning. Now, she barely spoke about it. And when she did, her voice trembled. Something had happened, and Talia was going to find out no matter what it took. It started like any other Sunday. The sun filtered through the curtains, painting the kitchen in golden light as Talia set breakfast on the table. But something was off. Usually, Mela would be bouncing into the kitchen, eager to eat before church. This morning, she sat frozen by the window, barely touching her scrambled eggs. Her little hands fidgeted in her lap. Talia frowned. "Everything okay, sweetheart?" Male hesitated. I don't feel like going today." Talia blinked. "What? But you love church." Male shrugged. "I just don't want to." Talia's stomach nodded. This wasn't like her daughter. Did something happen? Did someone say something? For a second, Male looked like she might speak. But then, she shook her head, dropping her gaze to her plate. Talia let it go, for now, but her mother's instincts were screaming. At church, everyone noticed Mile's absence. The other parents asked, and even Pastor Marcus approached her after the service. "Sister Talia, we missed Mela today," he said with his usual warm smile. But something about his eyes, something unreadable, made her uneasy. She wasn't feeling up to it, Talia replied, studying his reaction. Was that discomfort flickering across his face, or was she imagining it? She needed answers. That night, she called her friend Jackie, whose son, Austin, was in the same children's group. "Have you noticed anything weird about the kids' sessions?" Talia asked carefully. Jackie paused. "Not really. Austin says Pastor Marcus has been teaching them about bravery, but he mentioned something strange." Talia gripped the phone tighter. "What?" "He said the pastor has them go to a special room. They sit in a circle. The lights are dimmed, and they're given these little medallions." A chill ran down Talia's spine. "Did Austin say anything else?" Jackie sighed. "He said Pastor Marcus told them to share their fears. But here's the thing. He told them that what they say in that room should stay private." "Private? With children?" Talia's heart pounded. This wasn't right. The next Sunday, she made a decision. She would follow them. She arrived at church as usual, sitting through the sermon while keeping her eyes on the door leading to the children's area. When the service ended, she slipped out quietly, moving carefully down the hallway. Pastor Marcus led the kids through a side door, a small windowed room at the back of the fellowship hall. Talia pressed herself against the wall, inching forward, peeking through the narrow glass. Inside, the room glowed with soft, colored lights. The children sat cross-legged in a circle, each holding a small medallion. Pastor Marcus kneeled in the center, his voice soothing. "All of you have fears," he said, "and that's okay. But here, in this space, we let them go. We don't let them control us." Talia's breath hitched. She listened as a boy spoke about being afraid of the dark. A girl admitted she feared disappointing her parents. Pastor Marcus smiled gently. "You are braver than you know. Keep your medallions close. They will remind you that fear is just a feeling, and you have power over it." Talia frowned. It didn't look sinister. But then, why was Melee so afraid? She watched closely, and then she saw it. A little girl began speaking about something that clearly upset her, but before she could finish, Pastor Marcus cut in. Now, let's not focus on sadness. Let's turn to the light instead." The girl looked down, her voice shrinking. The conversation shifted. Talia's stomach twisted. He was shutting them down, dismissing their deeper emotions, guiding them away from their pain instead of helping them through it. At night, she sat with Mela. "Sweetheart, I know something about church is bothering you. Please tell me." Male's eyes welled with tears. She pulled something from her pocket, a small medallion. "He said we could talk about anything," she whispered. "But when I tried to talk about something that made me really sad, he didn't let me finish. He told me to focus on light instead. But I needed to talk about it, Mom, and it felt like he didn't want me to." Talia's heart ached. "So you felt like your sadness wasn't allowed?" Male nodded. Alia hugged her tight. Now she understood. It wasn't danger Male feared, it was being ignored. Her pain had been brushed aside, forced beneath forced positivity, and that hurt more than anything. She had to do something. The next Sunday, she walked into that children's session. Pastor Marcus looked surprised, but allowed her to sit at the back. He began his usual speech about bravery, fear, and focusing on light. Talia listened, and then she raised her hand. "Pastor, may I share something?" The room fell silent. Talia knelt beside Melee and spoke gently. "Sometimes when we're sad, we need to talk about it, not just move past it. Keeping pain inside can make it worse." She looked around at the children. "And that's okay. It doesn't make us weak. It makes us human." Pastor Marcus was staring at her, his expression unreadable. After the session, he approached her. I never thought of it that way." His voice was quiet. "I was raised to believe we shouldn't dwell on darkness. I thought I was helping." Talia met his gaze. "You meant well, but sometimes kids don't need to be told to move on. They need to be heard." He nodded, looking shaken. "I'll do better." And he did. The following weeks, the sessions changed. The medallions remained, but now they weren't just about bravery. They were reminders that all feelings were okay. Fear, sadness, joy. story, everything. And this time, when the children spoke, they were allowed to finish. Talia watched Melee smile again, and for the first time in weeks, she ran to church without hesitation. Maybe not all secrets are dark, but sometimes even the good intentions of others can leave wounds, and sometimes it takes a mother's love to uncover the truth. But tell me, do you think Pastor Marcus was truly innocent, or was there something deeper going on beneath the surface? Let me know in the comments, because I have a feeling this story isn't over yet.